What's good, guys, and welcome to the final episode of Mini Football Logic World Cup edition. Argentina are crowned world champions. But oh boy, wasn't it a bloody roller coaster ride, man? 3-3. And the South Americans won 4-2 on penalties. Oh my gosh, like, where to even begin? I took a couple hours to sit down and reflect and think, and even to rewatch the game, the highlights and stuff. And for a player that is widely regarded as one of the greatest of all time and probably the best of his generation, this is a beautiful way to complete the set of all the trophies that's ever meant something of magnitude and quality that he's ever competed for. Lionel Messi has won everything as part of Barcelona, PSG and Argentina. And of course, like I said, the Messi prophecy had to be fulfilled, and so it was. It's been done. I called it at the beginning of the tournament, Argentina were probably going to win it, and that's what's happened. But enough of that. We have to talk about the match. This was probably the game of the tournament. This is probably one of the greatest finals, like, in any tournament played in the history of football. Of course, I haven't watched every single match or every single final in the history of football, but this game is up there in terms of drama, twists and turns, controversial moments, decisive moments, or moments that felt decisive. And, of course, individual player performances. Mbappé didn't just score once or twice. The man scored 3 times. Yes, he scored 2 penalties, but he still got to have the balls to slot these penalties away. And that's what he did. Like, France were nowhere. And the man that they look up to delivered and made this game go on a lot longer than before, because, boy, Argentina started the game absolutely on fire. They were dominating. They were in control. They were winning all the second balls, all the bounces, and getting the ball through Messi to Di Maria, effectively and with simplicity. Of course, we realized early on in the game, it was clear to see what this weakness was. Jules Koundé at right back. And they just targeted the guy. Like, the fact that Argentina changed their system a little bit from the couple of the games they've played, in terms of instead of having the 4 central midfielders play there, they got rid of one of those 4 central midfielders, Paredes, and then put Di Maria into the squad. And it kind of changed it to a flat 4-4-2, and Di Maria was literally hugging the touchline. And Koundé just couldn't handle him. He's a centre-back, so naturally he's going to tuck in, And, it's... Shout out to Dookie for that analysis, by the way. But literally he's tucking in, and he naturally doesn't know how to handle these wingers, these high-quality wingers like that. And, of course, that's how the first goal came around. Di Maria... Obviously, this wasn't Koundé. Koundé, by this point, was tucked inside. So, of course, Dembele, unlike Mbappé, he does track back. He tracked back. One-on-one situation on the left wing. Di Maria beats him. Gets past him. Dembele shows why he's not a right back. He's not a defensive player. And just clips Di Maria and pushes him. And obviously, it's a penalty, It's not the most... hardest penalty in the world. It's quite soft, but contact was made, therefore it cannot be argued. It doesn't matter how many penalties you feel like Argentina have had during this tournament. That's a penalty, full stop, no argument about it. And then, of course, Lionel Messi steps up, scores his penalty, 1-0. And then, like 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, a few minutes later, it's 2-0. France are trying to attack, counter-attack. Ball gets to Messi from McAllister. Messi flips it around Upamecano, who obviously is aggressively defending him. And then after that, Alvarez gets to it, and Alvarez pushes the ball forward to McAllister, who continues his run from the pass he made from Messi. And then he puts in an inch-perfect pass across the box towards Di Maria, and Di Maria slots into the goal. It's a beautiful, free-flowing, smooth counter-attacking goal. And it's probably what Argentina deserved, to be honest. They were just in control of the game, and the goal was very much well deserved. And Di Maria has just made the difference at this point of the match. He's been the difference maker in this game, winning the penalty and scoring the second, and he's just tearing them apart, completely stretching them to the point where Didier Deschamps felt like he had to make substitutions to combat this. Put it on Thuram and Kolo Muani for Giroud and Dembele. Now, this was a weird one. I felt like he could have put on Colo for Giroud, maybe. Thuram Colo for Giroud, but to take off Dembele too. Now, I get it. Dembele started off the tournament pretty good, and he seemed to get worse as the tournament has gone on, unfortunately. And, yeah, even though he was tracking back, he wasn't doing nothing with that tracking back, aka he gave it the penalty. And Giroud, well, because of the way that France were playing, they needed more help defensively. So in Colin and Thuram, they're players that might not be as, good as an attacking sense as a Giroud might be or as a Dembele might be. But what they do offer is a lot more reliable defensive actions and abilities. And so it proved as the game continued. In the second half, France started to be a bit more solid defensively, although Argentina was still pushing. But you can tell at this point, Argentina started to push. They started to slow down the game a little bit. And they've just tried to get through the match, hold on for the 2-0 win. And, it felt like it was working pretty well up until around the 79th minute where Mbappé got the ball. He then got it over Colin, the substitute, who at this point has been hustling like a dog. He's been working hard. He's been trying to make a difference with the defensive decisions he's been making and trying to do something attacking, getting the ball, dribbling at players, a lot of that kind of stuff. And obviously, Otamendi's caught napping. And because Otamendi's been caught napping, what has happened here is that Otamendi's let him through and then he tries to drag him back. And unfortunately, that is a foul. It's a penalty. Again, slightly soft, but it's a penalty. Mbappé, of course, is the man to take the penalty and then he slots it home. Now, suddenly, the whole complexion of the match changes. Like, I'm watching this with my little bro and we both know that France are probably going to find the equalizer. This game is now officially exploding into life. Messi gets the ball a few minutes after the goal. I say a few seconds after the goal. Messi gets the ball. He loses it to Coman. Coman goes around, dribbles the ball, finds Rabiot. Rabiot lifts it up towards Mbappé. Mbappé heads the ball to Kolo Muani. I think it's Kolo Muani or Thuram. And then he gets the ball back from Thuram, I believe it is. And then Mbappé, like he's wearing a PSG shirt playing against Nantes or something, just volleys the ball like maximum pelt and it just arrows straight into the bottom corner. 2 goals in a minute and a half. And literally, they haven't had any shots up until this point, I don't believe. I believe they've only had one shot, probably max at this point. And they've just found a way back into the game. Mbappé shows to the whole world, this guy is for real. This guy is serious. Once Messi, disappears from the top of the game, he's going to be the man to probably take the helm from there. He's going to be one of those guys for sure. You can't question it, And the game goes to extra time, Obviously, Messi had a chance to win the game. He had an absolute fizzler of a strike towards the goal, and Lloris made an excellent reflex save to push it over the bar. Nonetheless, we're in extra time now. And you can feel like the momentum is all in France. But Argentina, just like they did against the Netherlands, they found a way to diffuse it and they suddenly regain control again. And they're trying to push for another chance or so. The first half of extra time kind of goes by. And then the second half goes and the chaos starts to re-ensue. Now, a ball forward from Montiel, the substitute, finds its way to Lautaro. Lautaro does really well to bring the ball down, and then a beautiful piece of interplay ensues from there. Enzo Fernandez gets the ball from Messi, I believe, and then after that, what happens is Enzo puts his beautiful first-time pass straight to Lautaro. Now, Lautaro could easily first-time passes across to Messi or take out the shot for himself. With his form this tournament, you're hoping he does the first option. Nope, he fires it straight at Lloris. Lloris makes an excellent reaction, reflex stop. But the ball falls straight to Messi. Messi puts it in, despite, I believe it's Upamecano's best efforts to clear off the line. It was clearly behind the goal. What was being debated was if it was offside or not, and it was proving that Lautaro was onside. Because, of course, they changed the rule now where you can't actually use, your arm isn't in play because of the fact that you can't score with your arm. So, of course, even though his finger was offside or something like that, it's not actually offside because it's part of his arm. So the goal stands, and surely at this point you're thinking, surely the drama is done now. Messi's won the World Cup for his nation. His prophecy has been fulfilled. Nope. Mbappé gets the ball, near the edge inside the box, on the edge, top left corner. He curls it straight into Montiel's arm. His arm's just flailing. Just hits his arm. the drama just continues. At this point, just thinking, when will it end? When will it end? You know? And then Mbappé steps up, puts it in the same place as did with his first pen. And yeah, it goes to penalties, you know? Although there was... The drama didn't end there. It wasn't just Mbappé scored, gave Diza to his penalties. Nope. What happened was, Kanati puts the ball forward. He bounces through to Colomboani, who has the chance to win the game here. And he fires an excellently hit shot. And it comes straight off Emiliano Martinez's leg. It's an absolutely sensational save of his leg. The ball rebounds, flickers away. Suddenly, Argentina on the counter-attack. Messi releases Montiel on the right side. Montiel crosses the ball to Lautaro Martinez, and Martinez doesn't even know how to time his damn header. Where is the Inter Milan Lautaro Martinez? This just looks like Higuain all over again with the curse and that. The guy just doesn't know how to score anymore. He's lost the touch. You know, but we know form is temporary, class is permanent. To me, he's still world class. I even asked for his inclusion to be in the game despite his form, because Alvarez was dead on his feet, you know. And he completely mistimes the head, and it's just like, wow. That was the moment, just like it was a Colomboani. But after penalties would go, of course, if you look at the overall complexion of the game and the performance, it didn't feel like they deserved to be in it, France. But they showed a champion's heart. They showed that championship DNA that I was talking about. They just know what it takes to win. And even though the squad isn't at their maximum level and all their best players aren't there, they found a way to, you know, keep themselves in the match. It's a very Croatia-esque performance. Nonetheless, after penalties we go. And Mbappé takes the first penalty. But at this point, Martinez knows where he's going. The question is, when Mbappé keep going there, if this guy got balls, he's going to go the same way. And so he did. Martinez once again gets a hand to it, but it's not enough. Messi steps up, takes the most coolest penalty I've ever seen. For a guy that's missed many clutch penalties, he's really just like, this World Cup, you could say he's had a lot of chances to correct this, but he's really improved his penalty taking etiquette. Even though to me, it feels like he's changing technique every match. Unbelievable penalty under huge pressure. He knew Lloris was going the wrong way, so he passed it towards the other side, and Lloris almost got a hand to him. I'm like, damn. And then Coman he runs up to the penalty. He tries to like smack it with like his side foot. Martinez reads it, saves it. Come on, you know, in penalty shootouts with Argentina, Emiliano Martinez is always going to save at least one. He's just that good of a penalty stopper. And then, of course, Dybala steps up, the substitute. He just clips it down the middle. Like, rah! These first two penalties are just maximum composure. And then Tchouaméni steps up. And I was telling this to Lil Bro and to my dad just before the penalty shootout started. France do not have PK takers on the pitch. Argentina kind of do. You saw the penalty shootout against the Netherlands. They were very good with their penalties. And I saw Tchouaméni step up, and I just thought he might be missing this. And so he did. He did miss the penalty. And Martinez, whipped out a little dance. You know how he does in these penalty shootouts. And moving on, he then had the Paredes step up for the third penalty. He rolled his in too. Lloris almost got to it. And then Colomboani steps up. He misses this. They lose the World Cup right then and there. But he lifts his penalty to the top corner. Kind of punctuates an absolutely sensational performance from him. You know, from the club he plays for, he's not used to playing games of this stature and this level, but you can tell this boy is made for it. And I won't be surprised to see him continue to develop and advance at Frankfurt and eventually make his way to a big club. The kid's got something about him. I don't know if it's the moment that brought it out of him or if this is really within him and he has the minerals, but we're going to see with time, aren't we? Nonetheless, he scored his pen. And then Montiel steps up. Of course, he's the one that gave it the penalty. It's his chance for redemption, to correct the wrong he made, to win the World Cup for Argentina. And of course, he scores it. He rolls it the other way, sends Lloris the other side, and they win the World Cup. And Messi's prophecy is fulfilled. Well, obviously, I've reviewed this game a lot differently because it's the World Cup final, man. Argentina win the World Cup for the third time. Messi finally gets his hands on the international stage's biggest trophy. And to many people, they believe the GOAT debate is over. I'm not going to get into that now. I need to be with Dookie or at least a group of others to start talking about who the greatest of all time is. But of course, to many people, this tournament has punctuated the legacy of Lionel Messi. Of course it has. How can it not? You know, people clowned him in the past for not being able to make inroads in his international career, but ever since Lionel Scaloni stepped up, he's been able to organise a team that's capable of fighting for Messi and capable of winning him tournaments and putting Messi in the best position to help lead his team. And obviously Messi's repaid that with some of the finest international performances of his career. And Argentina are well-deserved champions. They lost their opening game to Saudi Arabia, but they now follow Spain in 2010 as a team to lose their first game in shock circumstances and in any circumstances in general, and go on to win the tournament. They just got stronger and stronger from there and continue to find a way to win. And France, of course, last time champions in 2018, have Mbappé. So you know they'll be back. You know they'll be back. But wow, what a match. Argentina, world champions. Is there anything else to really say apart from that? There might be another bonus World Cup episode with Dookie, I think. But I'm not going to say anything more apart from that. But what I will say is that club football's coming back in like a week. Maybe even less than a week. It's going to be hella weird. So, of course, this is going to be it for the daily episodes. Even though the daily episodes have been done for quite a while. You never know, I might be back with it. You know, we might be back with it. We don't know. But the World Cup's over. Winter World Cup was a weird experience and all that kind of stuff. But it's done now, got through it. Turned out it wasn't actually that bad after all. And it came up with some iconic classic matches in this tournament will go down obviously in history. But yes, Argentina, world champions, man. They did it. Yeah, man, I think I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Mini Football Logic, which is probably not going to be a World Cup edition. We're going to be going back to normal, back to basics. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed listening, and I'll catch you guys soon.
Mini Logic.